torpedo that sunk the Cheonan and took the lives of 46 South Korean sailors was fired by a North Korean submarine.
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely.
Do you like modern politics? Are you a fan of deep, compelling stories with a focus on how war crimes destroy one's humanity? Can you tell a Korean and a Japanese guy apart? Do you have anything better to do with your life? If you've answered no to all of these questions, then you may enjoy Homefront, a gritty, highly unimaginative war crime simulator developed by renowned Battlefield modders and published in 2011 by a company that died so hard it reincarnated into an Austrian 2 years later. A real tragedy, that. I can't imagine how it's possible the publisher of so many smash hits of the decade could have gone bankrupt. Homefront's plot is written by the same man who penned Apocalypse Now, and as such can only be branded as a black comedy. In the distant future of 2024, America has collapsed, Kim Jong-un became important, Best Korea somehow achieved superpower status, everything got shut down by an Asian flu of some sort sweeping the land, and then an EMP killed all the electronics in the world. What is an EMP? Nobody in the whole rest of the world batted an eye, of course, especially once the USA got invaded. This leads me to believe that the author is a modern prophet to whom we should look for guidance, and that this truly is the darkest timeline. With the military scattered, America has to unlock its secret weapon of last resort. Jacobs, a former helicopter pilot capable of surviving literally fucking anything. It is currently unknown whether this man has been alive since the Stone Age or the Bronze Age. However, it is known he lost his voice during a very loud argument with Gordon Freeman sometime in 1991. As is tradition, in his quest to single-handedly destroy the Kims, he is aided by 4 characters. The token girl, the badass soldier, the Asian nerd with an expensive toy, and the token black guy. The game's belief in traditional American values is in fact so strong, it kills off the black guy the first chance it gets, followed by performing every single war crime it can fit into for hours. Luckily, Jacobs is a protagonist, and as such is far too autistic to realize any of this is happening or react to it.
Where did you even get that shit?
Stole it from the Koreans. They were gonna use it in case of an uprising.
He is a weapon from a more civilized age, created for the sole purpose of letting you act on your deepest, darkest desires. Such as shooting a man, shooting your best friend, shooting your best friend with a rocket launcher, flying a helicopter, watching an idiot jump onto a moving vehicle from a helicopter, and most importantly, falling from very high places. If you believe one man couldn't possibly achieve all of this, much less in the span of a week, then I would like to introduce you to the other Übermensch of this story.
The voice of freedom.
Also known as a narrator in less pretentious circles. We only know 3 things about this omniscient being. It cleverly obfuscates its visual appearance, it knows your every step, and it loves to hear itself speak. This being provides narration relevant to everything Jacobs does.
Yesterday afternoon, KPA authorities raided the town of Montrose, Colorado. Their goal, in the words of the enemy, was to neutralize high-value citizen targets. But this was not a measured response to American insurgency. This was innocent blood running red on Main Street.
Giving the game the slightest hint of personality it sorely lacks in everything else it does. All of this is, of course, underscored by concept art that has nothing to do with how the game actually looks like. Speaking of presentation, this game looks about as generic as 2011 technology allows. The color palette has only one setting, concrete. The guns sound like they're made of plastic.
More coming over the wing.
Watch out, Jacob!
As such, this game actually looks only marginally worse than Ricochet. The only saving grace is the soundtrack, which is actually kind of good. gameplay department, it would be more convenient to simply list all the games Homefront borrows from than actually look at any of the gameplay itself. As a first-person shooter released in 2011, Homefront adheres to all coveted industry standards as set by the greatest military shooters of all time. Thus, you get to enjoy such wonders as heavily relying on your ability to point your cursor at an enemy and press the left mouse button, waiting for AI companions to kick things over, shotguns being, in fact, squirt guns, turret sections, sitting in cover while your health magically replenishes, convenient bulletproof items on the street, and world building done through newspapers. It would be a bit of a stretch to say there is nothing innovative here.
Jacobs, you get the door. I got your 6.
Yay, for the first time I get to open the door! In fact, my best buddy here is, if nothing else, quite fun to look at. But seeing as this is a video game about war crimes, he is executed halfway through. By me, no less. Because of this, the game deserves a rating of 15 angry ANCAPs out of the entire state of Florida, which may be reduced to a mere 13 ANCAPs in case of an abrupt